Came across Beyond Success about 2-3 years ago. Jumped at the opportunity because during that presentation that Paul made was did a personality profile, which just didn't only just blow me away, it blew dozens of people around me away just with the knowledge and it still fathoms me as to what and how he can figure those things out just from a bunch of questions. So I suppose listening to Paul and even doing that questionnaire, it's sort of made me realise that I didn't really know who I was. So it was good to do. And obviously a little bit scary once you realise that you're just going through your life and it's like, well, wow, there's so much more out there that you don't realise until you're made aware of it. Well, it's a pretty easy one, that one. Everything that they say and do is just true to word, basically. There's no BS about it. Okay, I've done quite a few. Initially started with the Blockage Busters pack, which is good, but it didn't have that personal one-on-one type level which I was probably looking for. It took me a little while to realise that. So I went to another seminar, which is a mental toolbox, and from there obviously found out a little bit more about myself as well and signed up with the life coach. That has been pretty awesome, being able to just pick up the phone and talk to somebody that almost feel you get to know them as a friend, and there's no judgment, no why you're doing that sort of thing. It's just constant help, but it is at a coach level, and it just works really well. I'm really grateful for having that opportunity and having that door open for me to find that path. Life coach. I'm in business for myself as well, self-employed. I've got one employee. After having the life coaching for must have been about 12 months or so, I basically stepped up and went to business coaching as well. So I was doing both packages, and that worked really well, having the personal development happening first, then the business coaching, just to try and help with obviously the business. Still currently doing that, and that's setting me up to succeed in my business. So, wow, big question, that one. There's all sorts of benefits, I guess. Having a business coach has been great with probably even both personal and business. Having an employee working for me, being able to understand the way he's thinking, because he uses a different language than what I do, and me being able to control my attitude, the way I respond to him, talk to him, all that sort of thing has been a big asset in my business, and also on a friendship level, because my business is, I like to keep it fairly personal as well. I guess I never really realised that I had blockages, and it's more, I don't know whether you could put a different word to it, but blockages, things like not having enough self-confidence in myself, finding out that didn't really think that I was worthy enough for achieving greater things than I was getting. Admittedly, I was still happy with my life, but there's obviously, when you realise what else is out there and what other opportunities, then the blockages just, I don't know, they put the barriers up, and subconsciously you just don't go there until you realise that you do have that ability. Then it's just amazing where and what you can do and where you can go for it. So the difficulties they're great lessons. I guess probably my big one in my personal journey has been my relationship with my partner Mary. It was pretty rocky there for a little while. I must admit, before the personal development journey started for me, I was just cruising along. Everything was pretty rosy. There's obviously issues here and there. Everyone has the troubles. But since the personal development started, I've started to realise that I was the most important one in the world, basically. And hopefully my wife realises that too. So basically I'm just going through my journey now, doing it for myself and being who I want to be the best I can. And if not only Mary wants to join, but anybody else, then I'm happy to accept them. So I guess the big thing I've learnt out of the whole thing is that it's basically all about me. So if I'm not right, then nothing's going to work. I guess probably the biggest person, I guess, is Paul Blackburn. I mean, if he wasn't there to start with, then nothing, well, I can't imagine anything like this would have made my life change. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't find Paul Blackburn, really. It's really, with Paul Blackburn is great, but he obviously can't do everything. I'll say it anyway, but so basically my life coach and my business coach has been the same person as Lexi Meyer. She's absolutely awesome person. I've spent countless hours on the phone just talking to her, and even at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, because yeah, she's always there, she's devoted, she's totally understanding and just an awesome person. The other person, which is pretty big in my life, is obviously Mary, my wife. She's stuck by me. We've gone through the rough times, and yeah, it's having that personal development and understanding and actually being able to communicate a bit better has basically strengthened our relationship and made it pretty awesome so far. So that's cool. Yeah, having your blockages cleared from out of your way, then yeah, it's just incredible the amount of opportunities that start coming up and popping up in front of your face. And now I'm just itching to go and do anything and everything, and there's just, unfortunately, I just don't have time now because there's so much I want to do. Probably one of my major achievements through setting goals, which initially started with my life coaching, was to lose the gut in front of me, because I was 127 kilos at my worst, which is about 2 years ago, and now I'm currently less than 91 kilos, so I'm pretty wrapped in that. Walking quite comfortably, quite happy to walk 10 kilometres, whereas before I was, 500 metres I'd be puffing and panting and thinking I've had enough already, and now I can just keep going and going and going. It's awesome. So that for me is probably the biggest step in my life, because 40, well, maybe not 40 years, but since my teenage years I've always been overweight, been laughed at as a fat kid, and it's now a bit over 40 years old, and I'm a new me. It's awesome. It's really awesome, and the compliments that you get is just phenomenal, how people can actually appreciate it, and anybody can do it. That's what I love about it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So it's awesome. Set it in the head. That's right. Celebrating is definitely worthwhile doing. It sort of just sets in concrete what you've actually achieved, why you've achieved it, why you've gone on that journey to do it, really. one, like I said, my big thing is the weight loss for me. What I actually did in my goal book, I actually set, once I achieved a weight of less than 95 kilos, then I was going to go skydiving. So, and that I did on the last day of last year. Jumped out of a plane at 14,000 feet, and yeah, I just thought it was that awesome that as we were climbing up to the 14,000 feet, I was actually reminiscing on what my journey's been like, of actually how I've lost so much weight, and how, yeah, some days it's been a struggle and other days it's been easy to do. And yeah, it was jumping out of that plane, that was it. I knew I was never going to go back to where I was, so it was awesome. Taught me a lot, I guess, during the journey. It's probably more just, I guess, being more worthy of myself and knowing that you can actually do something if you do put your mind to it. So it's, yeah, just a matter of the personal satisfaction and the ability knowing that anything's possible. I suppose the big thing for me, driving me forward still, is having positive affirmations happen, and constantly looking at positive affirmations, striving forward, basically getting rid of the negativity stuff out of my life. That for me personally has been a great thing, and I believe having that stuff happen to me is also helping other people with their journey as well, because it just reflects out of me onto somebody else. So that's probably my big suggestion, is just keep positive. The future's a wonderful place. I'm going to continue doing my personal development. It's obviously changed my life for the better, and I guess Beyond Success has been a big part of it. And yeah, I don't really know what to expect. I'm open for it, but I know that I'll be able to basically achieve whatever I want to achieve, as long as it's realistic, of course. And yeah, I'm excited about where it could possibly go. I'm still working on it and loving life doing it at the moment, because if you don't love your life right now, then the future's no point, and you're just going to keep chasing the future. So I'm happy to live day by day, but also learn to expect great things that's going to happen in the future.